Well, hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up in the chat. Lisa was having audio trouble, so she is probably setting up her other device right now. But if you guys can hear me, let me know. Hey, Charmaine. Hey, Mo. I think I just made you a moderator. I think I was trying to do it on StreamYard, and it wouldn't let me. It's on YouTube that I actually needed to do it, and that's why I couldn't find the three dots. Hi, Lynn. Welcome. So far we have Kylie and Charmaine and Mo, and there's that Cookie Wookie all lit up in blue, and that's Mo and Lynn. I'm glad you made it. Hi, Diane. We're going to do something fun. I've completely rearranged everything to have our gel printing June and July so I can build up my stash for future projects that we do together. And I'm going to add Lisa. Just a moment. Therese, I'm so glad you made it. Oh, we're still not having volume from Lisa.
All right.
I'm going to go single screen and let her mess around with that. I don't know what's happening right now. So I added her to the stage. I don't know. She's really having trouble with volume right now. I'm just really glad you all made it. Yeah. Well, Therese, she also, if you guys don't know Therese, she also gel prints. She has a channel and she does a marvelous job, really. I am not a gel printing master. What I am is a dabbler, and I make lots of backgrounds to, I'm more of a what do I do with those gel prints girl, the big project girl. You guys know that about me. Hi, Julie. So kind of that's where we're at. I am going to share some of the things that I did this week with the paper. And before we get started, and I would like to say, if you, yep, there's Therese's channel. If you guys are new here, please like, subscribe, share with your friends. We are at 9:17, and I said when we got to 9:20, we were going to have a giveaway because, we have to do something special, right? And I thought that 9:20 was a nice round number, and then we'll do it again at 1,001. How's that sound? So I'm going to put this away. Gotta get it out from underneath right there. And we'll keep an eye out for Lisa. And she was just going to read chat and tell us all about her Scotland adventure. And I know Kylie can tell you a little bit about that in chat because they got to meet and have a tea. And I so wish I could have been there. It would have been pretty spectacular. So what I'm doing today, I am going to, and I'll start with a print that I'm going to pull. And what we're going to do you all do this? You sit down at your gel plate or at your desk anytime. I mean, you guys know I'm a fan of a prompt jar. Well, I made one specific to my gel plate blackout because I sit down and I get gel plate blackout. I don't know what's happening, and suddenly I forget everything I know. So here, we're going to try Lisa again. Are you there? You still don't have volume, honey. So let me see. I don't have you muted.
All right.
I don't know what is happening. I'm so sorry.
Are you getting anything?
Oh, darn. So go back and test your volume if you could. Do you guys hear Lisa? I cannot hear Lisa. Really? This is going to be a weird stream if you guys can hear her and I can't.
Wow.
We were going to have her just chat away and while I played. And, I don't know what the deal is.
Let me try. I'll try my phone.
Settings. So
I'll try my phone and see what happens.
Audio. Let's see. Mine is working fine.
And mine says it's working.
I can't believe you guys can hear her and I can't. Hold on just a moment. You can stream. Play a sound when guests enter. Darn. Hi, Dana. Welcome. Welcome back. Okay, yeah. Lisa, I want you to stay right there. I'm going to go out and come back in myself, okay?
Okay.
And I will see if that changes it, and hopefully it won't cut us off, guys. I really hope it doesn't cut us off. So give me a moment to...
Lord help us with technology. Hi, everybody.
Can I hear you?
Can you hear me?
I cannot hear you, and I don't know why. Okay, I'm going to try one more thing.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Hear ya.
You hear me?
You know what I didn't even think of?
What's that?
My speakers are on. Darn it.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I can hear you now.
You can hear me now?
I can. Okay. Technology just sucks, you guys.
Working.
Yeah.
Okay, folks. I'm
okay.
on
I am so sorry.
Here, so.
I'm so sorry.
You're going to see the full animation.
Thank you for being patient with us, you guys. I really appreciate that. Yes. That was the weirdest thing.
And hello to everyone.
Hey, Carla.
Hello.
I'm glad you made it back.
Hi, Carla.
Yes. So Lisa's going to tell you all about her lovely trip while I play with my gel plate. And so if you guys want to say anything to me, if you have any questions or anything like that, and I'm not the expert, but you know, maybe with some alcohol ink, I don't know. And if I get gel plate blackout, we're going to draw from the jar. So that'll be, you know, it's going to happen. I mean, we know it's going to happen, right? So Lisa, I'm going to let you take over. I'm going to pull this print. I'm going to share a little bit with alcohol ink, and when I need to interrupt, I just will. Okay.
So our trip to Scotland was for a conference, and we did get there a little bit early, and I was able to meet with Kylie Koo, and it was really, really neat. She got on a train and she came to the hotel where I was staying. The train station's connected. Of course, I realize now that she may have come in from where she was coming. She may have had to walk a block down. So anyway, she come down and scooped me up from the lobby, and she took me to the Willow Tea House, which has some historical significance. It's really, you know, one of those places that's just an icon for an area, and it was really sweet. We got the savory sandwiches, and you know, my very favorite one, I think, was the coronation chicken. I really liked that a lot, but I did try some other things. As a matter of fact, I ate everything on my side. You know, I wasn't shy about that. And I
hold on just one more moment. This is my cattail stencil, now available at pmartiststudio.com, and I know Mo will have a nice link for you there. And I'm going to use alcohol ink on it. It's a new stencil. I pushed it down. Lisa, go ahead and go back in.
Yes, and do you have a code? Do you have a fan code?
I don't. I would have to talk
Okay,
to
we need to
Mariah
see if
about
we can
that.
get one. Right, Mo?
Yeah, probably should do that.
Yeah, that would be good. Okay, so we did our tea, and being from the States, my first refill from the teapot was a little bit funny because they use loose leaf tea, and I forgot to put the strainer. So of course, I had tea leaves floating in my cup. Uh, Here we mostly use tea bags at my house, so that was a little bit funny. I had to laugh at myself. I was trying to be prim and proper, and I even dressed up. I mean, I really got on real
Really?
clothes to go out.
Oh,
I
that's so
did. I
fun.
put a dress on, and it was a little bit chilly and windy that day, which is not uncommon. So I ended up I had taken some tights, but I thought if I put those tights on, I'm gonna get hot. That's one thing, about being in Scotland. The weather is so unpredictable. It could be
Like
beautiful
Washington.
outside one minute and raining, with the sunshine the next, or you just have rainy days. So a raincoat was important. But yeah, I poured tea leaves into my cup, and I laughed about it. I mean, what else could I do? But it was very nice to spend time together with somebody that I just find the voice soothing. And Kylie is a beautiful person, and
She
yes,
is.
she does not show her face, and I'm not going to give you too many details there, but she is a beautiful person inside and out. So that was the first really big thing that stood out in my trip. We had our conference, and then we had a couple of days after that, and we did do some sightseeing. We went to what is called the Kelpies, which are these big horse statues
Oh,
that
I
are
know those. Yeah,
constructed of millions of little pieces of metal.
by the
And
canal.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, we went to the canal. We went to where the canals were joined by, let's see it, Falkirk. And Kylie, what's the name of the thing that lifts the boats up? It's something that's a counterbalance that actually lifts the boats up. And it was really cool. And the
You went to
guys,
the big one, right? The one that works like an
yeah,
elevator. Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
It
those are really cool.
actually, it looks kind of like one of those. Remember, you might remember from growing up, like in the 70s, they had these birds that would dip down and pick up water, and the water they would just tick tock back and forth. And when it finished taking it out of the cup, it put it back in the cup. Well, this was kind of similar, that the water, it fills up with water for the counterbalance to lift it. And then it's just a real simple machine in essence, but they use the water itself from the canal to counterbalance the boat.
None of this ink
And
is going to go to waste, by the way. It seems like a
oh, I
lot,
wouldn't
but it'll work
expect it
out.
to. And I'm loving the blend of colors with that lime green. Don't destroy that. It's awesome.
That was actually dandelion yellow. This is my secret sauce, and it is half alcohol ink, or a half alcohol, 90%, and half hand sanitizer. So if I run out, which I can in one session technically, but if I do run out, I'll make more on camera for you guys.
Yes, Teresa, the colors are beautiful. And hi, Yolande. It's good to see you here.
Oh, hey. Hi,
I,
Yolande.
I,
That-
yes, she said she knew she was forgetting something, but she's in the process of the move
Oh,
from the house
yeah.
that they were
Aren't you
in
done
to
with
the.
that? I mean, I think I'd still be working on it, but
Yeah, I think there's still some tweaking to do. She may have her stuff in place, in the room, but not exactly the way she wants it. So
Speaking
yeah,
of which,
I think she's still working on it.
I am
But
discovering all
anyway,
the things that don't work about my new room, so I will be making some more changes before you guys get to see it. Sorry. Before I
that's okay.
forget, was one thing I wanted to talk about. You know, that's why I haven't done the tour yet.
What Yolanda's saying is it is a long process for a short distance. And that is very true. When you start rearranging or setting up a different space, it's
Yeah.
always going to have variables and getting the right things. So, yes. And anyway, so I got to see the canals. This was where two canals joined. I got to see all the beautiful walkways that are available, and it's within walking distance of, a large group of homes. One thing I found interesting was that from watching Janet Nash's videos, I would see, like a part of the house,
Isn't
but
she in
I
the UK?
realized from, well, the people that we travel with are from North Carolina. They're friends of ours that have been around for a while, but we kind of made our reservations together.
I'm
Her
setting this
family
off
was
to
originally
completely
from
dry.
Scotland. Okay,
Go
so
ahead.
we're gonna let that dry.
I'm going to let it completely dry before I can pull it. So, and I don't want to yellow all of my plates because I've got that new 8x10 that I finally broke out, but I'm okay with yellowing the round ones. So I'm going to do that. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I haven't yellowed mine yet,
Actually,
and
I
I
have
love the
this one
round
right here.
plate. How big around? How wide is that? What's the circumference of that
I
one that
have
you got
a
right there?
4, I have a 6, and then I have an 8 back there. I know these are messy, and I'm sorry. These ones are actually not plexiglass. They're a special, like, they almost feel like mica tile, these ones. And I can't remember what they're made out of, but they're a little flimsy. The other ones are really thick, and they came in a 12x12, and they're acrylic to help me
Yeah,
with
I've got
them.
my 8x10 is on a good piece of acrylic, but my 5x7 I have not remembered to call and order it because there's a shop that'll cut it to size pretty quick for
Oh,
me.
that's
So
nice. Yeah.
yeah. So about
Okay.
the houses,
I think I want to use
Steve is
that.
a very he used to work on the railroad, and he's very into construction of things. And he was telling us that the only way that roofs hold out over there is, using like concrete tiles. And a lot of the buildings were either brick or concrete. There were some that were in what we call like the aluminum. I did see some houses when we were traveling that were aluminum, but they all had, good sturdy roofs. And the ones that I was looking at from the canals, he said that those tiles were concrete because of all the rain and all the moisture. It needed to be something that could endure. Where our roofs, we put, a thin layer of wood over our trusses, and then a tar mat, and then we put asbestos shingles. So, that type of shingle would not hold up, to the wear and tear of the weather, the wind, the water, and the cold. So I learned a little bit of that about that.
So this isn't a new
Oh,
stencil. I'm going to see if it still will get enough suction down there. This is the moon that comes with my circle set. That's really such a great deal, the circle set, you guys. It has the landscape that I shared earlier. It has these, the tree, the sun, and then the tree and moon, I believe, in that one set, and the moon comes in there too. And so you can, and I made big spaces here so that you can actually put another stencil on top of it and create a pattern in there, which is fun. So go
when
ahead.
I look at that one, I see, I want to make an eye in the middle of it,
Oh
but
yeah.
that's just
It
me.
also looks like horns. Just a
Yes,
thought.
it could be horns.
It could be
Hi,
horns.
Mariah.
Hey Mariah, welcome. I'm glad you're here.
We're
So
she's
back to my
sharing the new
alcohol ink here.
stencils.
What's that?
I said you're sharing new stencils,
I am. We
and
just did the cattails. And I am, I could pull out a small cattail for, now I don't have one that small for this plate, but I wanted to do the moons. So here we are. So I'm going to add my secret sauce first. And I probably should work on one at a time. I mean, I can go back and forth, but, so my secret sauce doesn't dry out and it won't stay turquoise. We're going to add lots of other colors. I like to challenge myself to use some new and different colors, but I know that I use these for future projects. So that means that I won't reach for them. If they're not in colors that I use, I probably won't reach for it, which is, important, I think.
well, I think that if you never step outside your comfort zone, you will always go back to what is comfortable.
Right. I do use other colors sometimes, but being the big project girl, those, these colors are my colors that I will use. If I'm going to make just some pieces of art that stand alone, that's one thing, that's totally different. If they are like pieces that are going to get framed or be by themselves, but if I'm going to do a big project with them, they need to be in my colors. And I was realizing that, like I try to challenge myself to use different colors, but then I thought, well, I've got all these prints in colors that I'll never use. So they're just sitting there in a bin, you know what I mean?
I
And you
do
don't
know
end
what
up
you
with
mean.
one print from a pull. You end up with 19 because you had to practice it and try again and have a ghost print. And, it's not, we end up with all these extra papers. And if we're not going to use them, you know,
Well, it's
so
just it makes me feel bad when I flip through and I look at, prints that aren't bad that I keep passing over. So I've been trying to say, okay, I'm going to find a way to use these. I will tell you something that was kind of cool. Last year when I went for the conference, I took a journal and a lady got it, and I didn't know who got it. And I happened to be sitting beside her this year, and she kept talking about, going back over to the table and looking at the journal I brought this year.
oh,
She she told me, she said, when I saw it on the table, I didn't quite understand it. She said, but I kept flipping through it, and there were so many fascinating things that I knew I really wanted it, and I kept going back and buying more tickets.
oh,
Well,
that's really
she
cool.
won through a blind draw. She won this the one I took this year, and she
So she got
almost
two of them.
cried. She's
Oh,
got
that's,
two of them, and I mean, she's very arty, and
did you
she
send
was
her to
so
our channels?
appreciative.
Because
And
you should have.
I thought, well, that's kind of cool. But her
Did,
husband's from the States, and he's been coming back and forth. And I said, well, if you decide you want one for a friend, just send me a message, and I'll get you one sent.
did you hook her up with
And
our
I thought
YouTube
that was kind of
channels? Because you
sweet.
should. It's an opportunity.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say so. Um,
Yeah. Okay.
I
So I'm
think
going to
I've
leave that
told you
alone.
all the sightseeing things we did. And then there's the fact that when we got ready to leave, we were all pretty road worn because we walked. I think when my Fitbit gave me a report on half of the week that we were there, one half of the week, we had walked 22 miles. Now, one day we went from
Wow.
pub to pub, and that was hilarious.
Pub to pub.
Steve and Bill, neither one of them drink because it tends to trigger headaches.
Uh-huh.
So Heather is always looking for somebody to drink with her. So I will have a ginger beer and a gin with her. But Bill wanted to go to some of the bars just to see them. So we went to the oldest bar in Scotland. Um, It's beautiful. You know, you had to duck to go in. I guess people were a lot smaller than we were. We had to duck
And
to go
hold just a
in,
moment.
and it had this beautiful
Let me
old world.
address Kylie's capital letters here. That
Yes,
is absolutely what I need to do. I need to go through with my my golden high flow, all the transparent colors. That is something I should do. Definitely, definitely. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
and good for you, Julie, for working on the postcard holder pages. That is
Yeah,
cool.
we're having that postcard swap, and we'll start picking partners in 3 more subscribers, guys. 3
We're getting
subscribers
there.
for crazy postcards from the edge. So I hope you have your postcards ready. So there, I used to color, I don't.
So this little pub, it looked like you were going into an old church that had hand carved wood all the way around it. It was beautiful. And it still had like old hand constructed, you know, craftsmanship that you could see. That was a cool one. Um, I didn't have any alcohol there. It was noontime, so I didn't have any alcohol there.
I wish I
But
could
we
take
went
it again.
into this whiskey bar, and Heather said, "We're going to have some whiskey." And I said, "Okay." So we go in, and neither one of us know what we're looking for. And you know, she'll drink beer. She'll drink about anything because, like I said, her family's from Scotland. She was raised going back and, you know, experiencing those things. So we decide we're going to go up to the top shelf to make our
Let them dry.
selection.
I
If
have a
we were
plan
going to
for
do it,
this.
we were going to do it right. And so we looked, and I'm looking at this bottle that's beautiful. And I thought, that looks like, well, the bottle's pretty, you know, how bad could it be? And I didn't pick it out. We kind of mutually agreed that was the prettiest bottle and that was going to be our choice. Well, the girl had to get the ladder, climb up there and get it off the very top shelf. And she asked us, "Do you want some ice? Do you want some water?" And the guys are sitting over here laughing because they know it's not going to be good, you know,
Yeah, they
because
know what's going
we're
to
going to take
happen, huh?
these whiskey shots. So we did. We just looked at her and said, "No, we're manning up today. You know, we're gonna just we're doing this."
It was probably
And so
sipping
that's what we
whiskey.
did.
That's different.
It was organic, and
Sipping
it came in a
whiskey.
beautiful, but it was still whiskey. I'm gonna tell you. I
Yeah.
mean, I believe I could have drank a little bit of kerosene, and it probably would have given the
Well,
same effect, except for about 30 minutes after it was consumed,
your
these
nose got
flavors
warm.
started coming to us. And it was like, I looked at Heather and Heather looked at me. I said, "Do you taste mint?" She said, "I do." And I thought I was losing my
How
mind.
weird is that?
Yeah. So I don't know what all was in it. I need to research it, but it was, oh my God, it was like
Totally want to
a
do that.
fire poker had been stuck down my throat. And Bill said, "Well, what did you think was going to happen?" So
That's
he
really funny.
smiles, he takes pictures.
So I've got this
Um,
this folder of stencils that I haven't really used. Some of them have never been used. I thought today we would combine that with, others. So, and I'm gonna
Ooh, I
mask.
like that statue.
I do too, and I haven't used it yet, and that's
That's pretty
crazy.
clever.
That's just crazy pants to me. And I think I'm gonna tape that down. I just don't want to get. I guess I could wipe the ink from right there if I wanted to. I just don't want to get it everywhere. Oh, it even needs weeded. This is a whole set that I haven't used. I have the Venus coming out of the shell, and need to get out my 8x10 and play with that one. Even if I just, see, it needs weeded. Even if I just then
Hi,
use
Uda.
some of my stuff for backgrounds. Hey, Uda. Okay.
I'm
So,
surprised she didn't pull that out when we were doing the goddesses.
well, I got it for that, but then we were so busy doing other things. I mean, we didn't run out of ideas for that,
No,
Yeah,
no, we didn't.
it was great. So, I think what I'll do is just try to wipe that away and that away, but I'm going to try to keep it in this field right here. We'll see. We will see.
Okay. Julie wants
There's
to
another
know
piece.
if anyone is aware of a fixative that will help seal the pastels or the glimmer spray from
Yes,
coming off.
they absolutely make
What
those.
do you know what it is, or do you have a name for
Well,
it?
there are many brands. Golden even makes a brand, but what we used to use was hairspray. Hairspray is great.
That's we used to use hairspray for fixative on ceramics as well.
Yeah,
Okay,
hairspray's fine.
Mariah
Won't hurt
says
you.
Spectra Fix Degas Spray Fixative. Mariah, is that on the Amazon list for PM artist to make it
You
easier
know
to
what I'm
spot?
going to do with this one? I'm going to go
And Devin
butterscotch.
says Grumbacher Spray Matte Fixative. So there's a couple of options.
Oh,
But yeah, we used to use when we would do pastels over ceramics, and we would seal it, with a spray. And if it was just a small area that we had used it on, we would use it just hairspray, something simple. Hi, Miriam.
Hey,
Glad you can
Miriam.
join us today. So our next bar that we went to was a horseshoe shaped bar, and it was considered the longest bar in Glasgow. And I mean, it just winds around, and they've got a quote of silly stuff all the way around that's painted all the way around the top of it. And it was pretty fun. There I had a meat pie.
Uh-oh. No.
Yeah. It's
It
like
went
a
on
pastry
the...
crust. It would be it's kind of like what we call a pot pie, but
Oh, yeah.
they call them pub pies, or, there's different. Yes. The horseshoe and Glasgow. We went there. And I got it, and it was served with mashed green peas. And Bill said, "Are you going to eat those?" And I'm like, "Yeah." But they were just like steamed peas that were mashed, and that was on the menu several places.
That's a
And
common thing there.
yes, it is very, very
Bangers
common.
and mash is mashed
The
peas.
the potatoes come as chips. If they're fried, they're hand cut. They're peeled and hand cut. And yeah, I didn't eat as many fries as Bill did. I mean, Bill lived off of French fries, and
Did you have fish and
when he could
chips?
get burger. I did not eat fish and chips. No, I take that back.
And
I
there's a
did eat
better.
fish and chips one day at the conferences, but there's fish and chip place just across the street from the hotel. So,
Their
I
fish and
did
chips
have
are
that
so much
last
better.
year.
I
Oh
don't know what it
yeah.
is. Yeah. Just better
And
all around.
I did eat a variety of different foods from what I would eat here. I'm not afraid to explore options.
I love
And
trying new stuff.
Bill,
So fun.
he went with the safe hamburger, but now he surprised me. The last place we went was the Smoking Fox, and that was just right across from the hotel.
Yeah.
And we had gotten food there a couple of days earlier, and it was really, really good. So we got there and could still get the lunch menu. He got what we would call a grilled cheese sandwich, and they call a toasty. But where we put
Oh
our
yeah.
cheese just in the middle, they do that, and then they put the cheese up on the top. I was telling Zoe about that today. She said, "Oh goodness, Mom, that sounds so good." But
So
I
now are
mean,
you going to
he
make
ate that.
toasties for dinner?
He enjoyed it. It was gorgeous.
Are you making
We went
toasties for
to a
dinner now?
German
Is that the plan?
restaurant and bar, and let's see.
I would
There
have a
was one more
hangover the
bar we
entire
went
time I
to.
was in Scotland. That would be me.
Well, we were trying to get the experience. I mean, we didn't have to say we went and we did nothing. I mean, we really, did quite a bit.
I have
The
3-day
day that we,
hangovers though, so it would have ruined my trip. But I would
I
have wanted
didn't,
to drink so bad.
I
Bye,
really
Alon.
didn't drink that much, but I'll tell you, the shocker was,
Thanks for
um,
coming. Okay, I'm going to put this away to completely dry.
All
Go ahead.
right. Um,
Um,
on the day that we were supposed to leave, we, because it's an
almost.
international flight, we had to get there 3 hours in advance. So we're
Go ahead.
sitting in the airport with all these people for 3 hours. And our plane we knew was going to be
Oh,
late.
goodness.
And we knew that if it was later than we could see, that, we were probably not getting out of Iceland because our connection was going from Glasgow to Iceland and then to Raleigh,
Oh,
Durham.
how cool.
So,
But how long were you in Iceland? Wait, I need to know
wait,
this.
wait,
Okay.
there's more.
Okay.
So
Tell us,
we were,
please.
what happened was the plane was later than 15 minutes and our connection was 45. So we knew we knew we weren't going to make the flights, but we got on the flight anyway. We knew at least we could get halfway, get closer to our trip home.
Right.
They pull away from the gate, and as they're going out and starting to go through their routine and their checks and balances for the plane, they realized there was a mechanical issue. So we had to pull to the side, wait for a runway to route us back, and had to go back to a gate. They had to open the door right beside us and let the mechanics in. And 5 mechanics ended up coming up on the plane. It's like we sat there for long enough that they started bringing, water because it was hot as Hades. No circulation of air much. They brought protein bars, to keep people from passing out from the heat.
Wow.
But they got it fixed. We got off, and before we had even gotten to the gateway, as soon as we were able to turn our phones on, take them off the airplane mode, all these ding, ding, ding started coming in. And we're thinking, okay, we've missed our flight because the one of the flight attendants told us generally they would not wait over 30 minutes unless it was a large amount of people, that were impacted. So when we get off the plane, we know that they've routed us to leave there in 3 hours and go to JFK, and it was going to be 7 hours before our flight to Raleigh, Durham. So we would have been at an airport for almost a full day. And so when we got off the plane, we were at the exit row where the door was. So we were the first ones off the plane, and we were the first ones to get in line to say, hey, we can't do this. So we
Start
got
up
to
sleep.
we did get to stay in Iceland. We were flying with Icelandic Air, and they actually had us to get a cab. They gave us, they had set up our hotel reservation, and it was actually a hotel they owned. They gave us dinner. They gave
Handy.
us breakfast and lunch the next day. And then we got on the flight that we would have gotten on the previous day to come on home. And within walking distance of the hotel, we could see an active volcano. I've got pictures that I will
Oh,
get
how
posted up
cool.
on my Facebook page, and you'll see my husband and I standing in the cold and wind, waiting for just watching the smoke go by. So it was
That's so
something that we
cool.
didn't expect. And also, when I think of Iceland, I think of, land that is just volcanic ash, not
Right.
much not much could grow there. But when we were traveling out of the airport, there were purple lupins everywhere. And I looked it up because I remembered reading something about it. And they are not native to the area, but they
Uh-huh.
thrive there.
What
And
are
then when
they?
we walked, I saw a couple of different kinds of flowers. And, I may have, I may have gotten a little too close to them. Something might have caught onto my clothes or something and followed me home. But I don't know for sure that's how it happened. But little purple flowers, not they were not the lupins. They were another little pinky purple flower, and they were right there, and it was all this rubble around them, this lava rock. And where we were staying at, we when we walked down, there was a building that had been burnt out by, when this thing let loose. So we could see that was burnt out. And then looking around, there were lots of cars that had been just totally burnt out. So, at one point, that was probably an evacuated area. There's still areas there you can't get to, but that was we had joked about it because Iceland will let you actually stay over a couple of days, to go sightseeing or whatever without charging you an extra fee or a higher fare. And for us to actually get to stay there for the night was like a win-win. I mean, a roll off.
Yeah, I just got the gel plate blackout. It happens. Do you guys
It
get
does
that?
happen.
How about that? How about a hand in the chat if you get that? I am curious. Am I the only one? So as I'm using these, I'm probably going to fold them again so I don't pick them again, or maybe I should put them in a different jar. That way, if I get through all of these, maybe a tiny envelope.
Well, if you fold them too small, you're going to lose them. Get a container for them.
There we go. I just put it behind that slip until afterwards, and then I'll get something for it. So that means in that challenge, if you guys want to use a roll off too, and I do have a stack of them here because I keep rolling off on them, and then I have some more here. Let's see. So
I like that roll off that you got on the top right now.
What's that?
I said, I like the roll off that's on the left-hand side right now. Yeah,
it's still got a lot of white paper showing. So I was kind of thinking more like, and that one's too thin. I was
that one
maybe
needs something.
This.
Yeah. But it's not big enough, is it?
For this plate. Yeah. So you know what? I will use this. The one I've been using. How's that?
Okay.
And this is that newsprint that I bought. Oh, here's one that's dry. That's from previous. Okay, we'll use that one. That's fine.
Very good.
So I bought a 500 pack of newsprint for like $5 on Amazon, like $4.99. And it's in letter size, and I thought it might be a good alternative to tissue paper sometimes if it doesn't rip, and that's what this is. And it actually pulls really nice prints. So I challenge you to go through, find your roll-offs, and make something cool with them. So I think what I'm going to do as I pull with this, I'm going to pull out another one of these new stencils. And, I'm using new stencils, my stencils, and I'm also using new stencils, these stencils, because, they don't have any paint on them yet. I think that
I like that. Cool. Whatever that is, that's pretty.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
It is. It's got some really interesting lines in it.
My plate. This is.
When we got home, Bill was sniffly. Bill had been sniffly since we went to the Kelpies. The wind was blowing so hard. Heather is a tiny person. She probably wears maybe a size 6 at the most. And at times I saw her grabbing Bill's sleeve, and holding on to a rail to keep from getting blown over. It was ridiculous. And both Steve and Bill both got up with sniffles the next day. So, it wasn't a surprise that we brought COVID home. I mean, we got home.
Yeah.
Bill got up the next morning and was very sick on Friday. So I did not test positive. I started not feeling well on Saturday. but I did not test positive
Yeah.
until late Sunday. But
This.
luckily, I had already gone to I had confined to my craft room, and I really had some fun. And I'm gonna show you while she's working on that. I'm
Yeah,
gonna show
show
you what
us.
I did.
Show us. Show us. I'm going to use colors that kind of coordinate with this. But I think I'm going to pull some copper or some gold out as well. And then I'm going to pull it with a transparent color so that all of this shows in the background still. So I think that I'm glad to see I'm not the only one that gets gel plate blackout, because I do see some people agreeing with me here. That's nice. Did you have something to show? Here, let me put you on.
I'm just going to give you a quick peek. One of the things that I did was I took one of the really large envelopes from Amazon, and I took plaid fabric. Some of it's wool. This one piece that I put in the center, this was some wool that was left over from a skirt that my mom made me. It was a skirt and a blazer, and it always looked so classy. And I ran across it in her things after she passed.
That's so cool.
So I had kept a little bit of it, and I decided, well, I am going to put these pieces together. So I did kind of put them down with a glue stick, loosely with a glue stick. But I have learned that I do not want to do that again because it gummed up my needle. But it's a really big piece, and I have lots of little things that I picked up, when we were doing our travel.
I'm gonna set over
I made this one. I have not bound it yet, so let me separate out so it'll not fall apart everywhere.
I'm setting some blank tags over here because I know I'm going to have a lot of extra paint, and I want to roll onto these tags so that I have some colored backgrounds for foam stamping.
This was
planning ahead here.
Off of a a book that came in the mail that I took. I don't know why I thought this wasabi, wasa, or whatever it's called, crisp breads. It reminded me of some of the crackers or biscuits and stuff that I had while I was in Scotland. So I thought, well, that'll be a good background. And then I had to put my cow in there.
I can't believe you finished that already.
And this is for the Daughters of the American Revolution in North Carolina. This is their symbol for friendship. And I put it on a cup of tea. And I put some little fresh vegetables and things because most of the little sandwiches we had at the tea party or at the Willow Tea House, they had like watercress and little dainty slices, thin slices of radish and stuff. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then this one I made for Bill and I because we were exhausted by the time we got to Iceland. It says, "So you both sleep."
Hi, Lynn.
Before we departed Iceland. And you see I got the Geico in the world. And I used some paper that let's see, Tracy had sent me. The colors just seemed to work. But one thing that was interesting, and I guess it never has occurred to me, but Sharon, please will you do a step-by-step paint on the gel plate with a stencil for Lynn?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Did I say hello to you, Belinda? Hello. And yes, Lynn, absolutely. I will. Give me a moment here, and we'll clear this plate and we'll use this one. The most you want the most basic with the stencil and regular paint, correct? So I don't confuse you and give you gel plate blackout, bringing out all kinds of other weird stuff. Okay. Because it's likely. So all I did was roll off onto these little white tags over
Oh,
here. And then I had some extra paint on here. I just went and picked up, you know, with the tags in the
that
opposite
looks
color.
good. So,
So
Sharon,
yes.
Lynn has got a brand new plate and she has
Mm-hmm.
not used it yet. So she is looking to
I
you for guidance.
Okay, I hear that. So what I'll do, let me get this one done. If you want to mark what I have done, this is a little more detailed, but we'll give you like a two-step process in a minute. Um, so what I did was I put the stencil down over the paint, um, and you can do one color. I would recommend one color at first. I felt like a super big failure when I first started gel printing because I watched like 1,000 videos and everybody was so good at it and it was mind blowing. And you know what I mean, guys. I know you do. And it's not like riding a
I
bike. I
do.
haven't done it for 6 months. So what's happened is I'm rusty. So I gel printed all week last week because of it, because I was feeling rusty. Um, it's the gel plate blackout that happens to all of us if we do mixed media. Now, if you just use paint and you just use, the most basic tools that we all started with, it's fine. But when you start doing mixed media, that blackout comes, I think. So, yeah. Okay, so I don't want to waste this good paint.
Hey, you want to go full screen for her?
A what?
I said, do you want to go full screen for
Oh,
her?
yes, I will.
That might be
And
helpful.
like I
I
said,
mean,
let
y'all
me get
see me.
this plate cleared, um, because that's about to happen. Or I think the alcohol ink, the first one we did is done. I think it's dry. Okay, so there's that. Now, when it's time, I'm going to use that roll off and a transparent color and pull it. So, but we'll give that a minute. And I think this has some paint on it, so I kind of want to lay it down on these tags over here and give it a swoosh, just because you get little rims of paint around your edges. Okay, so let's start with a super basic. I'm going to set this off to dry and grab this one. This one should be dry and I want to pull it. So this is our cattail. I'm going to pull this. So Lynn, I wouldn't recommend, starting with alcohol ink or doing any of that stuff at first. Just get your confidence level and get comfortable with the plate first and use paint. You just acrylic paint. You can use just about any medium. I don't think any of us have found one that doesn't work on the plate when we've tried it. However, and I'm not going to waste that, you'll see. However, just start with the basics until you get more comfortable. Okay, I got to figure out what color I want to pull this with. And I think I want to go with the nickel azo gold. Or like a parchmenty beachcomber beige to show off all those colors, maybe. Maybe that. Yeah, let's do that.
I think
And
that's
then
a good choice.
let me get my paper
Lynn,
ready.
when I use like junk mail papers that are good weight. I use things like that for my to roll my brayer off on.
Yeah,
You don't have
or
to
your
you,
like
you do not have
medication
to use
papers.
perfect unused paper. You can also use the brown paper that comes in packaging,
Yep.
like your Amazon
Yep.
packages. You can use a paper bag from a grocery store. Any of those things are suitable and lend themselves well. And the paper that she picked out is one that she had been using.
To roll my brayer off on because you get extra
Right.
paint. Yeah.
So it's getting another layer to kind of pull things together and give it another look.
And too much paint is better than not enough paint every time, because you can roll some off, but it's harder as your paint is drying because you want to pull it before it dries when you put your last layer on. So I have quite a lot of paint there. I'm going to do this. Whoa. Ripped it. This.
You got to sing, roll with me, baby.
Come on and just roll with me, baby. Hey, come on.
Uda, congratulations on your granddaughter's graduation.
And we're rolling, rolling, rolling on the river. Hopefully I didn't smear my, because that was a whole lot of fussing with it with the alcohol ink. So I'm just going to stop right there and hope it's good. And I've got this
Fingers crossed.
bamboo paper. I'm going to go all the way around those edges. I need to get one of these plates cleared though, because hopefully that blue and green one will be clear in a second here. It would be nice if it was on a clear plate and not a yellowed plate, because it'll be easier for you to see, Lynn, I think. My gel plates are only yellowed because I do use alcohol ink on them, and that happens, but it does not hurt them. Okay, Julie. Yeah, you can roll off on envelopes. You can, just use your junk mail, your prescription papers, paper bags, whatever you want. And then you can choose to use them or don't use them.
There's always ways to get creative with things that you have on hand.
There are.
So
still a little.
That's why we save them, because just because
alcohol ink,
they're not pretty at the time.
It's still a little cold in the middle, so it's still a little wet. I'm not gonna pull it quite yet, but we're gonna have some pretty cool cattails in a minute.
That's gonna look nice.
So let's see if this one's dry, because it was thin paint.
All right, Miriam.
Almost.
Let's see. I will see you in the morning.
Bye, Miriam. We'll see you later. If I get up early enough, I'll come see you in the morning too.
Yes, old magazines.
So today is my 9th anniversary, and we decided that we're going to celebrate tomorrow, though I already gave him his gifts. And I did a thing where we're photo bombing it's a canvas that I bought of his favorite movie is Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit or any of, so it's one of the castles. It looks like an oil painting. And I've got us on a paper fan on one of the broken parts. And where is that photo? I stuck it someplace because it's me and horns and him doing something funny too. And so that was what I did for him this year. Usually, I missed the whole
I missed the whole thing being gone.
What whole thing?
The process. Usually you give me a sneak peek, and
yeah.
Process.
I don't know what I did with that. I have another copy of the photo right here somewhere. Oh, it's right here. So what I did was I cut us out. I put us on something heavy, cut us out. And I've got it so it swings, and because I didn't want to put us directly on the canvas, so it swings up so we can photo bomb Mordor. And I hung it above his desk. And then I got him a rug that says "Definitely not a trap door." It looks like a trap door. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Yes, the cattails.
Are y'all going hiking tomorrow?
We're gonna go do something. The cattail is available as a stencil as well, yes, and it comes in 2 different sizes, three different sizes, and I just love it. I just love it. I should do a partner to it. It was an original thought to do a partner to it that is because this is a mask, it would have been a stencil instead, where it's, a whole piece with the pieces cut out. Okay, so this is dry. Now I'm going to use the roll off, this one, and I'm going to use the transparent paint. And Lynn, bear with me just another moment here. And we'll do a super beginner friendly, that's a lot of paint, a beginner friendly tutorial for you. That is so much.
Thank you, Mug, for putting that link in.
I don't
So
want to
if you're
waste the
interested in
paint.
the cattail stencils, Mo has dropped that link in for you. That'll take you directly to PM Artist Studios products. You can also search Sharon's name, and you
Yes, there's
can
others
see all
too.
of her designs that are available.
The tree and moon stencil that I had out earlier comes in a nice set, and it comes with the moon too, and it's really really a good deal actually. And I'm going to use my goddess stamp, one of the goddess stamps. There is a set of 4, and I know a lot of you have these already. But the goddess stamp, that comes in a set of 4, and it's a value as well. And I have a set of
Is a great
stencils that
value
match those stamps as well.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Yolande has actually used them on her channel. If you catch any of those videos, and Mo, I know you're not that much of a superstar to go look up a video. You don't have to do that. Thank you. All right, so I'm leaving this until it doesn't feel cold anymore, and then I know it's dry. But this won't take long because I used that really thin paint.
So, Lynn, what she's saying is, when you touch it, if you feel the edges, the edges won't feel cold, but you'll go towards the center of your
And it'll still feel
plate,
cold.
and if it feels cool,
I think
you need to let it wait a little bit.
Just needs another moment here. We're working in progression here. So this one, oh, it's not quite dry. Darn it. Okay, I'm gonna pull this one anyway because I'm trying to clear a plate. I wanted it on a clear one, but it happens.
Diane, I think it's fun to share, bad bad prints and see what people can do, because you got so many people that can look at it and say, oh, well, if I do this, I think it really makes a difference. Yeah, Julie, it was, I don't know what it was doing. Sometimes my daughter works upstairs, but she's not working today. She'll be up here and she'll have to run downstairs. Even though our router is in the very bottom of the house in our basement. So
I think next time I'm going to try the opposite and do lighter colors in paint and pull it with brown, because cattails are primarily brown. And I could even do sort of an ombre in different shades of brown would be nice.
What about if you put brown on the cattails, then maybe put some gold on the stems?
Well, it does have some nice edges, some crispy edges.
It does have beautiful edges.
Nice gold, because the gold tends to pull up. I did discover that you can, if you put your alcohol ink on and you do this with your plate and kind of move it all over, you get crackles. And I got some good crackles. I showed a little video recently, one of those little shorts, but look at that. Crackles from the alcohol ink and really crumpling up the plate. So,
nice.
I was pretty excited about that because I love a crackle. I love a crackle.
Diane thinks it looks like stained glass, your cattails print.
It kind of does. Alcohol ink has it does end up looking kind of like stained glass usually. So I'm going to set that aside.
That would kind of be cool. You could probably get a nice effect if you pulled that on some deli paper and then put it, over something that light would come through,
like in a
piece
frame
of glass,
without a back.
like a glass.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Lynn, are you ready? Let's do this. So you're going to want some basic acrylic paint and printer paper. And I will use some contrasting colors. Your best bet the first time, you want to go from dark to light. Basically, you're painting backwards. So whatever you put on the plate first is what's going to be in the front of your print when you pull it. So if you think in those terms, you're going to want anything that's going to be like a person, place, thing, like a cattails or whatever a thing is to be in the front. most likely. So I'm not going to use any stamps or anything. I'm just going to go straight for a stencil and make this as easy as possible. So I'm going to grab a big stencil here, and then I'll choose some colors. Just something abstract, one of those other new ones maybe. Where's the yellow folder? Where did I put it? I set it down.
Hey, Julie, the crackles that she showed on that last piece of paper were where she had picked up and flexed the plate when it had the the alcohol inks on it.
Okay, so that one hasn't been used. I just want one that hasn't been used yet. That's the goal. Okay, so normally your plate won't be yellow. It is stained from alcohol, and it doesn't hurt it at all. So I'm going to use this one because it's big enough, and we'll just go from there. So,
Julie, you should get good results using the rollers.
We're going to do darker colors in the front, and I'm going to make that maybe some dioxazine or some purple violet. This dioxazine, let's do dioxazine. I want to do that one. And then we'll pull it with some periwinkle or something like that. It's going to be kind of monochromatic. So the first thing you want to do is, there are two ways to go about this. You can either put your stencil down first and go for it, or you put your paint down first. And I think at first we all kind of started with putting the paint down first because, you know, it just seemed like the logical step. So this one has a tendency to point away from my computer and my face.
Well, while you're getting ready to have paint explode.
Did you see that about to happen?
No, yeah. No, I was just anticipating what might happen.
Oh my gosh. Julie, you see all that paint?
What did you use that roller on that paper that had the good crackle? Had you used that roller that was sitting to the left? Or was it just out?
What are you talking about?
You had a roller with a print to the left. It's blue. It's out of the picture now, but it's like a...
Oh, I used that to pull.
To the left, you at the top corner, when we come on, you had a roller with a textured design on it.
Oh, the textured one. Okay. No, I have not used that
on that
yet.
print, or was it just the...
Yeah, no, I haven't used it
where
yet
you
today.
had flexed the gel plate.
So I got to put this somewhere. I can't get it back in here. I was thinking maybe I could scrape it back in, and it's because this paint is so thin. I don't know why. I always end up with a mess with this one. What?
You're running out of space at the moment, aren't you?
Pull some. No, actually, I'm doing okay with this space. I do have a homemade gel plate I can use as a palette here somewhere. I stuck it somewhere right there. So I'll just do that. We will just do that. Yeah. Grab a palette knife. You know, sometimes paint messes just happen. They do. Every time I use this dioxazine purple, it just goes and goes and goes. It's got so much, you know, so much stamina. That's what it has. Okay, so you want to get a brayer, something to roll out with, and a partially soft brayer, not a hard brayer that you would do like speedball ink press printing or whatever. Yeah, look at all the little weird thick bits that came out. Yuck.
It almost looks like it's got different colors in it, but that may be cool in the end.
And it's also kind of separating.
I see that because you got like a really
crazy
purple.
Let's put this on top of it so I don't have the crazing, because that's going to confuse Lynn. Crazing happens when you have a well-conditioned plate, which mineral oil is all you need. I'm only putting a second coat on here so we don't have that problem. This is a thicker paint. So any of your thinner paints will do that on a well-conditioned plate. There we go.
Yeah, happy accidents. That's usually how things happen sometimes.
For sure. Okay, so assume that's one color there. And that's kind of a cool color, isn't it? So then you're going to want to put your stencil down. And, you know, whatever you choose. And have a piece of tissue paper ready, which I do not. Here's one. And you're going to want to pull up, get that down there before your paint dries. You know, you're kind of, you know, you can't dilly-dally. And kind of pull up the paint that's in between in all those little spaces. And your paint will stay a little like wet for a moment because it's on the gel plate. And it does keep it moist a little bit longer, I think. So I'm just getting my fingers in there because it's all these little spaces. You want to get them all.
And a lot of times fingers are what works best for something with that intricate of design.
So this is great collage paper later.
Really helps.
And then I'm going to use a piece of the newsprint on it now because this newsprint, by the way, so cheap. 500 pieces for like $5. It's also.
You need to send that link to me so I can put it in my card.
I will. Yeah, I'll share the link with.
Not that everyone. I don't have any paper, you know.
Well, and I know that this isn't going to last 1,000 years. It's newsprint, but if you're using it to collage stuff, you're probably going to put layers and layers of glue over it anyway, so it will last.
Yes.
I know it's probably not acid free or whatever, but it's perfect for what we do. So there's another piece that started, and I can use that to pull the next, or to pull up what I need to on the next one. So when I pull this stencil off, it's wet paint underneath. It stays wet under that stencil. So when I pull it off, I want to be good and ready to lay down another color, you know, well, when it's dry. But this is thin paint, so I'm assuming that it's not going to be dry for long or wet for long. And this, sometimes you can get more off of this. Like if I take these orange tags here and lay them on here. I know you guys probably can't see what I'm doing off to the side.
No, you're in frame, actually.
Okay. I'm just laying these on here, and I'm just going to take a brayer.
Lynn, this is just a way to not waste the paint that's on there and use that design that's lifted up.
You'll find that I don't like to waste anything, so all I did was it just transferred a little bit of the purple. I didn't get any pattern, and that's fine. Whatever. It's just a beginning, you know. Those are a little damp still. So let's see here. This won't be long. Now I can say I got paint on most of those stencils that didn't have any paint on them. So I'm going to find a different color to pull this with since I ended up using that one. And I need to think about if a lighter color than this, most likely, because you want to go from darkest to lightest. And as you get better at it, you'll be able to use different colors depending on their transparency, because that's what's gonna matter, is if it's transparent or not. Because whatever color, this is kind of transparent, whatever color I add is going to show through and might even change that color. So whatever, you know, is the opposite of purple makes brown, which is yellow. If I added yellow, I would end up with a shade of brown, most likely. Yeah, well, no, and it's okay. I mean, I love all those colors. You know, I'm a good grunger. I like the grunge. Orange would look really nice, but I've got to consider how it might change the color, and it actually might really do the trick for me. So let's.
Okay.
There's only
can you
flip
the plate over so she can Lynn
yeah.
can see what it looks like at this
now,
stage?
Remember, this one is stained yellow, so you're not really seeing what it's going to look like. That's the brown it would turn when purple and yellow mix together right there. It looks brown, doesn't it?
Hi, Diane.
So yeah, that worked.
Missy Palettes in the house.
Oh, hey, Diane. I'm glad you made it. So I'm just drying this last corner. It really isn't, it's, the paint is thin and yeah. So maybe what I need to do is, ooh, I could pull it with a copper. That would be beautiful. And it's orange, so it still have kind of a brown quality when it shows through. And it's not necessarily lighter. It's kind of, when those were mixed together, they might even be in the same tone volume. But it would show through in all those little spaces. So maybe that's the ticket. So if your thing is not dry, it's going to smear. So you do want to make sure that it's a little sticky still. Mostly dry. And then, so Lynn, do you have a brayer already too? And you know, all that stuff. You're going to want to get something to put your plate on because it's going to make a mess. Like one of these pads is great. You can get a pretty big one for really cheap.
Yeah, they really make it much easier to manage.
You can use cardboard if you don't have that. Too much paint is better than not enough paint. Remember, I said it because I don't want to smear.
It's funny, Teresa. I used to really like gold. I like gold.
Still really. Oh no, it's pulling.
But
see how it's pulling up?
I have gotten to where now I tend to go towards copper as much as I do gold. And the one I use the least is silver.
Me too. And I realized I don't have a good thick silver paint. I don't.
Okay, it's hard to find a good one. I mean, I'm using just some cheap stuff, but it's hard to find, a true silver.
So what I actually put some on a list. Amsterdam, I think, has one of the big tubes in silver that I want to try. Or the Gotta deal is my favorite. These pearl colors of gold and the pearl brown. They're so thick and rich, and they almost have a plasticky feel when you pull them. Like they're thick.
I like that pearl brown.
Yeah, it is good. Okay, so I'm gonna. Amazon? When you put your paper down, make sure that you get your edges first. Seal that up. Seal it up, and then worry about the middle. Now, I find this really relaxing when I'm rubbing the paper. I don't know what it is, but there are a lot of people, like I have that one and I have that one. There are a lot of people that use a Baron to do this because if you do a lot of gel printing, it might irritate your hands. So, and this is an old sander that I put some felt on, and it's heavy and it fits my hand. So I love this one. But you don't need that.
I'm on the thrift plan. I use a empty cosmetic bottle with rice in it, and I
put this to the
side down, and the lid is what I use.
It's cold, so I'm putting it to the side and pulling out a different plate right now. Oh yeah, you can use a glass top to something. Did someone come in? Oh, Ellen.
Yes,
hello, welcome.
And if you're coming in, if you'll be sure to hit those thumbs up, Sharon and I both appreciate it. We're really trying hard to get her up to 1,000 subscribers, and she's really, really getting close.
I am, and I've actually. Did you guys see that I did a few shorts recently? And they're not really shorts. They're like one's 4 minutes and one's 6 or something. They're kind of what I've been up to. What's that?
I said, they're just little bites. They're good.
They are. They're little bites. So here, I think what I want to do is maybe I need to use this roller now because I want to add some sort of background to this, whether it be in a stencil or in this, but I need to make sure that I'm careful as I'm layering up because I really don't want to mess this up and accidentally pull some of it up. So, and I'm thinking maybe like, I need to watch my colors here so I don't wash any of those out.
could you actually possibly maybe put deli paper and secure it with
Deli
what
paper.
do you call it? The
What do you mean?
tape.
Oh, you mean put something over it? I could mask it
Yes.
off.
Yeah, I think I would mask it off because that'll give you more opportunity to get that roller print down.
Okay, we'll do it. And I'll use this crappy paper here, but I don't want to end up with a straight line. So I'm going to make sure
No,
to
no,
tear it
no.
all,
That makes sense.
because a straight line is a bad thing. It'll show.
Julie said, "Hey, what about you getting another plate and rolling the plate with your roller and then transferring it?"
And then transferring it on. I could do that too. So I did pretty
But
good.
I
there.
agree. There's several ways to do it, but
There are.
and I don't know why I can't remember what crap tape is called.
Washi tape?
Washi.
Yeah.
Duh.
Washi tape. That whole thing tore off when I
Washi.
was trying to tear. This paper, this newsprint is not easy to tear though. It is not.
Okay.
It's terrible to tear. But which is, not
have you tried
necessarily.
doing it with a wet tear method?
Oh, I haven't. I mean, I haven't had it that
Not
long.
for this, but for other things.
The other thing I did, I usually buy the Kugel tags, the flashcards, and I've gone through what there's like 300 in a set, and I've purchased 3 sets, but the price went up to like $14.99, so it'll be a while before I buy those again. These were really cheap. They were on one of the sales for the week, and it came with 4 or 5 of these bundles, and I think there was like 100 of them for around $5. So when I get that link, also I will share. I'm gonna grab some washi tape here.
Diane, we hope it doesn't stick. We're just
yeah.
We hope
it
does not
well,
stick.
the paint is dry, so it should be okay, but we'll see. All right. I think that's fine right there. I'm not gonna, I don't want it to pull up, so I'm not gonna really press on it or anything. Probably press too hard on that one. Okay, so remember I have this dioxazine purple over here on this palette. I'm gonna throw these away. Do you remember
perfect
this?
use.
Yeah, I think so. This palette is just a homemade gel plate. When I started out, I couldn't afford a gel plate, and I actually made a whole bunch of them, which was a fun thing to do, really. But they don't work the same. They're not the same at all. And I don't mind if it skips a little. It doesn't have to be, because you guys know me. I kind of want things to be uneven and.
If it's quirky, it fits.
Yeah.
Or wonky.
Yeah. Yeah, this paint is so sticky. Okay, I'm going to take these now off to the side here while that's doing that.
That's nice.
Oh, yeah, that is
I like
nice.
That.
Good colors together.
That lined up well.
This is sticky. I don't really want to put anything.
Bye, Teresa. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you, Therese. Awesome to see you. And we will get in touch soon about having you as a special guest one day. She and I kind of talked about that. So watch for that.
Nice.
But I need to talk to her more and find a day that we might do that. And it could be during a regular live. It could be a special. I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry because sticky paint, Sticky. Let's move this. No, that's a no. This is so sticky. It hasn't had a chance to dry, so I need to move it.
Is that one of those that might take days to dry?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's this dioxazine purple is so pigmented and so it just goes on and on. And like I said, I mean, look at all of it, always comes out too fast. And even when I'm careful, that looks pretty cool. Yeah. And then I'll pull it with something nice, something different than all of these, you know. Maybe the beachcomber beige or a really light blue, maybe. Ooh, that does sound good, doesn't it?
Light blue.
A light blue like the sky.
I mean, I was thinking like the mocha or the beach pebble would be pretty.
I don't know. We'll see. We got to let it dry first anyway. So we're going to put that off to the side. She's so beautiful. Let's turn that over and give it a look-see. Oh my gosh. Look at her. I could see Yolande using her pan pastels with these stencils.
She can work magic with pan pastels.
She does.
I tell you.
Yeah,
I mean,
she does great stuff.
And she's one, Lynn, if you watch her, she's got yellow plates too, because she does the same thing, you know. She's, you know, not afraid to put stuff on a plate. I mean, some people will use alcohol inks on just one plate and not use it on others just to keep from yellowing their plate.
So I did have some, it went under in a few spots, and it's probably because it's a new stencil and it didn't get weeded all the way, or some of the edges are a little rough on that one, but that's okay. It also means that there's a lot of ink underneath this, though. What am I doing? Did you see what I almost did there? I tried to use this as a brayer.
Something would have happened.
So
seeing her like that, the hotel is like an Art Deco design, and it's just gorgeous.
Oh, that's cool. So let me set all this stuff off to the side. And what I want to do, we're going to let her dry. And while I do that, I'm going to address this. Because remember how much alcohol ink was on here before we had to let it dry. And I don't like anything to go to waste. So I have a solution to that. Now.
And you're going to teach us right now.
I am. And my secret sauce is half alcohol, 90% or above, and half hand sanitizer. And I might have to refill for this, but we'll see. Now I'm going to have to put it on a piece of paper because there's going to be it'll leave something behind also. But I also need to be ready with whatever it is I'm going to pull with here. And I could use a print that's got a light color on it already, or maybe I was going to share these with you guys. Maybe I should use one of these. I actually ironed these, but maybe one of the lighter ones that's not torn up.
The second one. The second
one's torn up, so I can't use that one. I don't want it to stick, but maybe there's one here that doesn't have a lot going on, because I do have some. I think they're probably on the bottom. I sat and ironed paper until my arms hurt yesterday. So let's see. Oh, there's one. So I did 3 batches. I did one with rust and plants. I did one with tea and plants. And I did one with just rust and did a bunch of fabric. And that was what I did last week. That one's so good, and they look different from side to side. Look at that. It's so good. I
like that one.
I've never done this.
You should scan that
kind
one.
Of dyeing. There are a few I want to scan, yes. Oh, come on. I must have
I've got my iris leaves to cut back this week. And
that's what this came from, all the trimmings from the yard.
So I'm gonna be doing some prints.
Come on, don't I have
They
one?
actually worked extremely well on the gel plate when I used them last year.
I guess I don't have one that's plain enough that I would be willing to sacrifice, you know?
Oh, you put your papers through the laminator just to flatten them?
What's that?
Interesting. Lynn has a laminator, and she feeds her papers through
Oh,
the laminator to straighten them.
I get what you're saying there, because you can also use your Big Shot if they're 5x7 papers. I have flattened things that wanted to curl on me with my Big Shot. It works pretty nicely. Okay, so I guess what I'm going to use is one of these pieces of, this one is a matte photo paper. So I want to try this. And I got these because Louise Heinzel was using this stuff and a little iron. I got it a while back. And I don't know if you guys remember that. I think it was last year that I did that. Okay, not wasting. Here we go. Are you ready? So we're gonna
Julie was asking if you had any plain tea dyed.
I do, but I'm almost out, and I should make another batch of those. Okay, so I sprayed the crap out of it. Now I'm gonna do this before it evaporates. And that ink will stay on there. Another thing you can do if you see that it's not enough is go back in, or you can even spray the back of the paper, depending on how thick your paper is, really. I moved it. So I want to check these. Spray a little bit more right here because I see it's not coming through. All right, ready, set. Oh my God. Look at that.
Oh, that's nice. That looks like watercolor with all the little droplets.
See, and that's why I don't mind using that much alcohol ink on the stencil, because, and I can do it again still. I mean, that's not the end. That's amazing. And there's,
I agree, Kylie. That's a wow moment right there.
So
And
much texture.
Definitely.
Do you guys see all that gorgeous?
Very nice.
There's little splatters and what looks like crackles, and wow.
You've got smelling on that.
Let's do it again.
That piece up at the top right, where you see the white coming through, that really separated out nicely.
Oh, right here?
Yes.
What are you talking about?
Look at it on the print.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? How nice it's got that crunchy look to it.
Okay, now I'm going to use
You're getting lots of praise for this one. Everybody's loving it.
Oh, that's thank you guys. I kind of don't like it. Looks a little pastel-y right there, but the rest of it I absolutely love. Lizanne, hello. Welcome. Did we say hello? I'm sorry if we missed it.
I think she just come in, actually.
I'm actually so focused on this today that Lisa is gracious enough to just not even be on camera and help us with chat today. So what I did before, like this morning, I did one of these and I was cleaning off some stencils and I used some cards. So tags are another thing you can press on them if you just want to add some, oh, well, I had two. Just want to add some color or whatever. Okay, so let's see this. It didn't come through right there, so that means it probably didn't have any alcohol. So let's get that. Same here. And this is regular paper, so it will go through. You can use your brayer.
Got peacock feathers.
I think we need to make more of this together. Some of my secret sauce.
Oh, I'm liking what's coming through.
We used a lot of secret sauce last year. That's where we started using the alcohol ink on the plate. Okay. I mean, look at all the ink that's still left behind still. I mean, this is a lighter version. Look at that.
Still very nice. Very
nice. Yeah. I mean, this is obviously the winner, but yeah. So I'm going to stop right there with this one and I'm going to grab another one. Hi, Dana. Thanks for coming. Oh, you got your staples out last night. Uh-oh.
Wait, I've missed something.
Yeah, I did too. Dana, what'd you do?
What did you have done? I'm just curious.
Yeah.
No, I'm being
Okay.
nosy.
So I'm going to set this off to
We're
the
all
side.
family here, right?
Yeah. You be nosy. It's okay. I think. I mean, I would think, but. All right. So here's that roll off. Because there was so much paint in some of these areas, it didn't even pick up all of it. But that's okay. We'll do some tags on that real quick. That's our roll off. You had a bad fall and ended up with 8 staples. Oh my God, in your head?
She busted her head.
Oh,
Well, if you needed
honey.
staples, I'd say you did hit your head.
Wow.
Bless your heart.
That is so hard. So hard. Okay, so I'm going to pick this up real quick. So if there's anything left over on your plate, that's when I do like to reach for things that I have previously, and why I previously add to these things. So I have some background colors. Let's see, I have some more orange ones here too, I think, from a couple days ago.
Leanne, you're going to find that the things that she's telling you about picking that stuff up on the plate, it's almost like if you took a piece of duck, like packing tape, and we're picking up crumbs with it. It is so rewarding to lift that stuff
really is.
up. I mean, it's like you're saving it.
So
you're
I'm
not
leaving you something
wasting
clear,
it, and you're going to have fun with it.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun to find new ways to not waste anything, really, because you get all of this leftover and you get ghost prints and you get, I find it really rewarding to do that.
Well, it's like finding little jewels, it's like saving something, really. It's like rewarding, like you rescued it from being lost.
It's glazing medium, so I don't want that to get on anything.
And is that not what Kylie talked about earlier on?
A glazing medium?
The glazing?
What were we talking about with that
some
glazing
bad
medium?
prints. Using it with bad prints?
Oh, yeah. Kylie was talking about a clear colors, I believe, right, Kylie? Like transparent, so it changed them. Still too much.
They converted. So Dana said that the guys, when she got back to work, had put a hockey helmet in her chair. They're trying to make you a hard hat, Harry.
Okay, so we're going to see and hope that picks that up. If it's not too thick. And if you like mixed media, grungy sort of art, that's where it's like finding little jewels, I think. If you are a person that likes to have things neat and orderly and crisp and unblemished, then, it might be more difficult for you. I need a bubble wrap suit most days myself. So, and I'm going to stick this on.
I'm constantly covered in bruises, bumps and bruises.
Yeah, me too.
When we left for Scotland, I had about a 4-inch bruise on my leg where I was getting a suitcase off the bed where I'd packed it and putting it down on the floor while Bill was at work.
Oh, gosh.
And he said, "Why didn't you do that?" I said, "Because I didn't know I was going to hurt myself."
Of course. You didn't know you were going to hurt yourself. Yeah,
we can laugh at our mistakes and our boo-boos. But, sometimes it takes getting over the pain to be able to laugh. But it helps.
Okay, so I think what I want to do now, because we got all that leaking going on there, I'm going to take a little bit of this liquid, and I have some in a little dropper jar here somewhere. There we go.
Kylie said she found out she does not bounce.
No, and, I feel so bad and responsible for Kylie's recent boo-boo because it happened while she was trying to rush back and reload her page because she was live with me. I feel so bad. So I'm going to take a paintbrush here, and I've never cleaned it up on the plate like this. Actually, you know what I can do? I can use this and then later I can use the ink that's left over on here. I think. I don't want to clean it up perfectly. I just want to get some of it away. Yeah, I can't
So
do that.
what you're doing right now is just softening it. It's really
Yeah,
having a nice
yeah.
effect, actually.
I'm just giving it,
It's reminding me of the Wedgwood pieces of jewelry my grandmother used to wear.
oh, how nice. Yeah. So I'm just kind of taking some of that away.
Yeah, that's looking good.
It does not have to be perfect. Just,
Kylie did suffer injuries. She's wearing a plaster cast,
yeah.
but she's
I hope
doing
it's
better
okay
now
that I
than she
mentioned that,
was.
Kylie. I didn't even think about that. I hope it's all right. But you posted a picture on Facebook, I thought, so. Okay. So I see the pedestal right here, so I know I needed to.
Now, what's in that bottle that you're using?
This
Just
is
water?
it's mostly hand sanitizer,
Oh, okay.
but it does have a little bit of alcohol in it. So it's, you know, it's a little less puddly. It stays in place more.
Okay,
So
so
it's
that's a better option for
right,
a cleanup than the special sauce would be.
right. Cause it's got more alcohol in it and it evaporates more quickly as well.
Okay.
And it also might run into what I want to keep. And I don't want that to happen. So,
You have more control over it with
yeah, you do.
more
You do.
sanitizer and less alcohol.
Right. So the secret sauce is a 50-50 mix. But the this stuff, it was just my emergency. I don't even remember why I mixed it up one day, but I've been keeping it with my it was for something with alcohol ink. It was something similar, but not on the plate. Maybe on Yupo. I can't remember. I know I wanted more control. Okay. I think that is
Hey,
good.
figuring out the right way to do it. Now we've been saved having to figure it out. Yeah, Sharon has figured it out for us, so
I try, but I'm not the master at all with the gel plate. So, I mean, but I try. So this, oh my goodness, look
would
at
you
that.
believe that we only have about 15 minutes left?
Are you kidding me? Oh
No,
my goodness. How did that happen? Okay, so
I
what I'm
don't
going to
know.
do,
We're just having so much fun.
I'll go through the plates
I think
and pull whatever I need to pull. I won't add any more. Lynn, I hope you come back and we go through another, maybe I'll make a little short about, just the basics for you. And I just want to get through and share the prints, share the plates, show what we've done today. So that's kind of the plan. I think I'm going to pull this with, oh gosh, I don't know. I'm going to use the Beachcomber Beige.
yes.
Or the Golden Sun. No, it'll turn green. Beachcomber Beige it is. So it is dry. Too much paint is better than not enough paint. But I also don't want to squish my design all up.
Beachcomber Beige, and that's
What's
just,
that?
is that folk art or apple?
It is apple. It's a good beige, light beige color. I want to
It really is pretty. I've gotten used to
a good
using the
shade.
mocha, and I can't get it right now from Walmart. Not at a price I'm going to pay. They've got it at an idiot price. So next time I see it out in the stores, I'm going to make sure that I get a good amount of it.
Come on, don't smear my blue.
Please don't smear the blue.
No, that is not working, that brayer. You want to get your paint thin enough to see your image underneath with your last layer, always, to get it to pull. If you do thick paint, you're going to have to leave it longer to dry, and it may not pull up the whole thing. So if you roll it out thin enough that you can see the design coming through, but you're not messing up the design, because then you've rolled too much. That's where you want to be. Okay, so I got all my edges. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, look at that. I tried to make it look like a patina and maybe some
I really
moss.
like that. I mean, it really looks like a coppery, an aged natural copper.
It's so amazing. And I love the green on the shoulders. Oh, I love it. Okay, so I'm going to set that to the side, let it dry. Let's see where we're at here. Let's get that layer on here real quick. And I'm going to pull this off. Oh my gosh, look at that. And like I said, those don't go to waste. I am going to not do it right now though. And then this one, the moon from the round set, my first set of stencils on PM Artist Studio. Okay, so I want to actually, after I pull this, I'm going to put one of my stamps in the middle, I think. If I had wanted to have her on the plate, I would have done it first and then done that over the top, but I'll do it after. So let's see, is it dry?
Thank you, Mo, for popping that link in for PM Artist Studio.
Mo is the best.
Light Sunset Crescent Moon Stencil Design Set.
Mo is the best. Thank you, Mo.
Mo, you are the best, because when it comes to technology, she knows as well as I do. I suck.
She has the quick draw fingers. That's what. So notice I had to stop using these sprayers because that dioxazine purple will keep going, and I need to let it dry first and maybe peel them. Oh, I didn't get my paper ready. It's pretty. I think I'm going to use this. It was something that I just cleaned off a stencil with earlier. So
that looks like the tiles on the Kelpies.
Yeah. I think the Kelpies are beautiful.
Since I had COVID, I didn't get my pictures uploaded because I wanted to get the ones that Bill took to go with mine. And he hasn't sent them because we've, hey, I was just thankful I got all the laundry that came back done, because we were gone almost 2 weeks. So I was just thankful I got the laundry before I got too sick to do it. I got all that done in one day, the first day back while he was in bed.
And this one I think I want to use.
Oh,
no, I'm going to use this transparent.
Mo, you do not have screws loose. You're sharp as a tack.
Mo, that is why you are here and we get along, because we all have a little screw loose, I think. Let's be clear. Let's be clear here. We all are a little bit screwy, aren't we? We'd rather play with paper.
Oh, yeah. I own it.
You got to own it. That's just the way it is. You got to own it. I'm just looking for a piece of paper here that I want to use.
So Kylie said that the Kelpies were actually built close to her and then transported to where they sit now. I can't imagine how long it must have taken. I need to do more research on it because it's amazing. You can see the sunlight coming through it, so you can actually see the structure inside. And I captured some pretty good pictures. I was very pleased because I do not generally take good pictures. But even my husband said, "Hey, yours is better than mine on this one."
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that doesn't happen with pictures often. People are missing their heads,
Something's wrong here. My paper's bubbling right there, which says to me there wasn't enough paint, or I created an air pocket in here, which I've never done before. So I may have to pull that back, add a little gel medium because I don't want to waste. I don't want to ruin that. I don't know. I mean, we can always fix it.
You're not seeing a bubble in it, though.
Look at that. It looks like the moon.
That is really pretty.
I did not intend for that to look like the moon.
I like it.
That's really
I like
cool.
it even if you don't put the goddess on it.
Yeah, I may not. I may not.
Maybe make a colored copy to put the goddess on.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, so let's see where we're at here. We've got 15 minutes. I think this is dry enough. I think. Maybe not. I may end up with like pink streaks. All right, here's the one we did to show Lynn. Okay. So here is the most basic. Ew, and I don't even like it. It needs a lot of work.
Oh my God, it's pink. Mo, what are we going to do?
Yeah, well, it's copper, but I really don't like it. I don't like it.
It looks like rose gold on screen.
Does it? Huh.
It does. It has more of a, with the pink, purple, it's got more of a rose gold.
So I would probably go in with this and some colored pencils or a paintbrush or another layer. Can always add another layer. I've got a whole bin of stuff that I've, collected and gathered that I feel like needs more, and this could be one that ends up in there. And I don't know why. I just don't like it. Yeah, that dioxide does stay open for a long time. Oh, you have an idea?
Well.
What's that?
Mo, did you think pink? Immediately think pink.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Mo does not like pink.
I don't either. I avoid pink as I can see.
I have you know how I am about a true mauve color. Every time I think about it, I think about when that color was popular here in the States. Every room in my mother's house was mauve. She wore mauve, it was like her perfume was mauve. It was like everything.
It's early enough. I think I can run through this one more time, just quickly for Lynn. Just the most basic, because repetition makes us stronger in anything we do. So I'm going to start with my darkest color first. And I am going to, I'll put the stencil.
Excuse me, my cup's dry. I didn't mean to be making noises.
Are you making noises over there?
Well, my throat's getting really scratchy.
Oh, yeah. I haven't even had a drink of my coffee for 2 hours.
So I'm going to grab my drink over here.
Okay, so Kylie, I can't wait to hear your idea for the moon stencil. It was intended to be very abstract and big enough spaces. I like big spaces, and I usually put those on my designs so that we can have more intricate design in between. Bright pink and nickel azo gold. Does it turn orange? You've come to a conclusion that people feel
a lot of
color
things that have like little bits of pink undertones, and you do very well with it. So she's saying to use a thin layer of quinacridone nickel azo gold over the bright pink, and it turns it all some colors.
Huh. So I am going to use some of this brown pearl. And then I want to use some of this. These are the same consistency, which is important. If you're going to mix a layer, you want it to have the same thickness, basically. And because it's shiny, I feel like I need to use another shiny one. It would be weird if it was a flat color that I mixed with it, I think. And then I'm going to do this. And I'm just doing a thin layer here. I don't want blobs, though. No blobs. Let's say no to blobs.
No
No
blobs.
blobs.
No
Yeah.
blibbering blobs.
Sometimes it is harder to get down into little spaces, but and a smaller brayer can really help with that. But I grabbed this one, so. And you don't, if you start pulling it back up, you've overrolled it. So you just stop rolling.
Okay, Charmaine, she's got to go. So
Oh,
we thank
thanks,
you for coming
Charmaine.
by.
Yes,
We
thank you so
appreciate you.
much. And you have a fabulous weekend. I think we're gonna have an adventure tomorrow. I think we're gonna go to the ocean, and I'm gonna pull this up. So then what I would do, Lynn, is let this dry completely and then go over it with a color. And that white was on there probably from alcohol ink, like a bit of white left over. I love it when I get color transfer from a last pull, when it's on my stencil already and it accidentally bleeds onto another project. I love that. I don't know about you guys. Because I'm never trying to have, just this crisp thing happening.
Ooh, barbecue. Diane's going to a barbecue, so she's got to go. We're almost done. We got about 4 more minutes.
Yeah, we 5 more minutes. Bye, Diane. So
Bye-bye.
And when I say transfer, I mean when you go to use your gel plate again or your stencil again, and it's got like alcohol ink on it or something that would have reactivated. Acrylic ink or acrylic paint won't do that, but your other things like watercolor stuff, those will reactivate, which is really kind of cool to get some extra little washes of color in there you didn't expect. That's really, really fun. Okay, so I'm going to put this to the side. So last step here would, you roll out a nice color that maybe is lighter than the color you chose, because at first you want to start with darkest first, go back to lightest, or something that's completely opposite so it really shows up. Let's see where we're at. Okay, so we had some really big successes today, I think. I think that was okay for a roll-off. That was a nice challenge from the jar. I think we have this.
I love that.
Let's see. Grab this one and this one. This one was the first one that I pulled, and it had the alcohol ink, and then I pulled it with the orange color. Let's see. And this was a cattail I did this morning. There is I think our winner for the day, and that was not on the gel plate, but it was fun. And then we have that one there. Where are the rest? We have our tissue paper that's going to be perfect. This is so good for collage right here, guys.
It is very good for collage.
It's like mark making. Let's see. We had that where we were just pulling the paint off the stencil. We have lots and lots of little tags. I
want to see the tags.
Probably pull this one now. Oh, look at that, you guys.
Oh,
I would redefine the eyes,
impressive.
but wow. And I could lay my stencil back over it for detail if I want.
Sharon, if you cut that out and put it over on that circle beside you to the right.
Oh, yeah. Like a frame.
That would be amazing.
Cool. She looks like she's got moss here and there. And oh my gosh, I love this. I love it. I love it.
She turned out gorgeous.
She did.
And it looks like she's wearing pearls. That was even. This.
Yeah, I kind of see that too.
Yeah, okay, it looks like you intentionally did that.
An alcohol ink moon that I picked up with a paper that I had kind of a pattern on from just a cleanup. Oh, that's very so fun. Nice. I actually like this. It's got little crackles in there. Oh, I love it. The more alcohol ink you get on your gel plate, the more crackles you'll get. Because, it needs to be a little bit thick to make those crackles. And then this. Oh, my goodness. Hey, I meant to ask you guys, how about the lighting today? Because I added another light behind my computer. So my
I think
computer's
the lighting looks good.
the computer's mounted to the ceiling. And so there's this underside right here. It's about 14 inches, a foot, I don't know. And so I've actually got a light on a magnet behind my computer on the mount on the ceiling. So
And Julie
I was,
agrees the lighting is great.
oh,
You
good,
have improved the
good.
lighting. It is much better this week.
I am so glad to hear that.
Belinda's got to run. It's dinner time.
Ah,
So,
Belinda, thank you so
Kylie
much
said
for
the lighting's
joining.
good.
So here's some of
Ellen
the
says
tags.
great prints.
And thank you
Yes.
everyone that came. I
love
just
them.
go a few minutes over here to share. What else did we do? Because I feel like I'm missing stuff here. Here's some more of the, I just rolled over there. That one, that looks tropical, doesn't it?
It does. It does have a little bit of a tropical flair to it.
Those ones that I rolled onto. So these are ready for another layer. When I'm gel printing, I can lay them back out and, you know, I can lay them on a stencil or whatever. I think I'm going to leave these ones alone though. I like these ones. I like them a lot. A lot.
Yeah, I don't know that they need a whole lot.
Yeah, I don't think they do. Well, they need adorned, but I feel like there's
right,
something
but
else that
you've got a good base.
Oh, this ugly thing.
Oh, thank you, Mo.
Mo, you
said
are the
fabulous
best.
work, Sharon, and she liked the tales from
guys.
Scotland.
I am tickled to have had you all. Oh, here's the one with the tags. Oh gosh, yeah. Okay, one more moment, guys. Look at this. So this one, remember, I had some leftovers on the. There's some more. Oh, didn't do anything. There we go. Look at that.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
So that's a few different times picking up on that one. Oh my goodness. Picked up the blue and the bronze. Yeah.
That picked up a lot of good color.
That one has.
Thank you, Kylie.
Thank you so much, everyone. You guys, you mean the world to me, showing up and watching me get messy and play with paint. And I just love you all. Go invite your friends. We need a couple more, and then we're going to have a swap, and we're going to have a prize. And thank you, Lisa, for being so wonderful today. Let's put you up there, and we will see you all soon. Thanks, guys. Leave a comment if you're watching on replay. Bye.